Hello everyone. I am Crawlers and I know this horse has died from multiple laser blasts from Imperial stormtroopers a while ago, but I'll mention it real quick here. A, a short update to the EA fiasco that's setting the world on fire at the moment. And not only the gaming world, by the way. Uh, this goes far beyond that. I mean, Star Wars has such a name recognition that people are just writing articles on this everywhere, Forbes and every online. It's even gotten to a mention on the BBC. And, it's making its way around the world right now. So it's just everywhere, online and offline. And yesterday, actually, I think they've stepped up uh, their advertising for the game quite a bit because yesterday I saw like 3 ads for Star Wars Battlefront 2 on TV inside of like 10 minutes, which I didn't the day before. So, I think they definitely stepped up their um, advertising of the game. I think this is hurting their sales severely because people are retracting their pre-orders quite a bit. So, all the articles dump on EA, and rightly so. What they did was deplorable. If you didn't know or can't read, they basically slapped a pay-to-win model onto a full-price AAA title by the little name of Star Wars Battlefront 2. So they included star cards, nothing new so far, and loot boxes, which again is nothing new. Many previous games did it. Overwatch, Call of Duty, and so on and so forth. And especially after years of battle packs, it's no surprise. But what they did was they made the base game a super duper insane grind that no sensible person can go through, which they are obviously counting on because, these crystals or in-game currency, which is used to buy loot boxes and unlock Darth Vader and stuff like that, they cost real-world money and not small chump change either. You could, go ahead and sink a couple $100 or on just the, loot crates and still not get what you want because it's basically a game of chance. It's gambling, it's putting money in and hoping something good will drop in one of those loot boxes. And I think I saw an article online that basically it would cost if you were to pay instead of grind to unlock everything in the game, it would cost over $2,000. And that is just unacceptable for a AAA title. Hell, it's unacceptable even for a free-to-play game like World of Warships or something like that, because most people just want to relax with a game at the end of the day for an hour maybe, and they don't have the time to grind for 40 hours for each, hero. And yes, I'm aware that they decreased the price already, but the point still stands that, it shouldn't be a grind, it can't be a full-time job. And the epic or highest tier star cards, in fact, give a very real advantage over non-paying gamers, which is, a big no-no. Uh, it's even so big, Activision's going, nah, dog, you done fucked up, EA. So, thing is, while the DLC is free with this game, EA still stands to turn an unbelievable profit because of this pay-to-win model, and which is supremely profitable because, I mean, it not only allows free-to-play games remain free, so-called free, without a subscription. It also turns a profit many times higher than the standard one-off DLC type sales, like, you know, premium and season pass. Uh, See, this happens because, firstly, a gamer pays for a season pass only once. He might be buying loot boxes dozens of times, throughout the weeks and months and even years after the game came out. And sure, they're much cheaper, each one of them, but in the end they add up to hundreds, if not thousands of dollars, because, you know, each time you buy a loot box or a set of crystals, I mean, Jesus, they're minerals, Marie. Uh, you don't feel as if you don't feel the price point as much as because they cost a lot less than the season pass, and you keep buying them, feeding that addiction and that gambling, because you want a greater and greater unlock the next time the loot box drops, because it's basically, it's very basic human psychology. You're always expecting to win something. It's why the lottery works so well, and gets into the hundreds of millions of dollars. And meanwhile, EA is laughing all the way to the bank. They basically opened up a casino in a AAA title. I mean, sure, they're not the first ones to, come up with this stuff, but what kicked all this off was that this time they're adding some stuff necessary to your progression of improving your game, giving you that real edge over others behind the paywall. So you either get pawned or pony up. And, if these were cosmetic items, we'd all probably be playing Star Wars Battlefront 2 right now without, batting an eye. But EA took it too far, and I actually saw a funny post on Reddit saying basically, all this kicked off when someone, I think it was the Hotter Potato, who has done a tremendous job on researching the topic and, calculating the averages and whatnot from the points and the grind in game. He basically noted that a hero would take around 40 hours of game time on average to unlock. And I know it's lower now, but back then, uh, you know, basically, the post was mainly about Darth Vader, but someone said, this is the second time Darth Vader or Anakin Skywalker would bring a balance to the universe, because quite frankly, everyone is in such an uproar right now that I'd be surprised if EA didn't roll some of this back and it didn't cause severe, at least some changes in the loot box setup, because as it stands right now, it's just horrifically bad, and it would certainly leave a big stain, lasting stain on EA. And well, speaking of going too far, in a stunning display of bad timing that could honestly not have come from any other company at this point, EA's CFO, speaking at the UBS Global Technology Conference, has put forth this, well, I can't really put this into words, how scummy this speech was, really. You guys need to read the article for yourselves, and I will link it below. But basically he went on to outline that relying on new games and charging gamers for standard services like premium and season pass is basically the world of the past for EA. He sees standard models of capped prices like the aforementioned season pass and even EA Access as a dying revenue stream. Instead, he wants to get this charge the gamer based on what they do, like how long they play and what loot they unlock, and this is a direct quote. If you have a live service component to games on EA Access and Origin Access, you can have a subscription that's uncapped, said the dickhole, that is Blake Jorgensen. This is a bit over the top even for a scummy company like EA, known for dick moves, for the past few years especially. And it gets better. In a twist of irony, he added, Battlefield 4 is often the fourth, fifth, or sixth most played game in any given day. He said, referring to his regular look at how EA's multiplayer servers are utilized. Oftentimes, it's consistently in the top 10, and the game that's and it's the game that's 4 years old. If we had a live service on that and we could keep people engaged, give them even more to play them, then we could also be able to try to monetize them over time. That's a huge opportunity to continue to build the live service piece of our business. Yeah, no shit, it's one of EA's top games right now, precisely because the damn thing doesn't need money to win it. I mean, sure, there's battle packs, but you don't gain anything by buying them. You wouldn't through, regular game progression, and in case, you make a case that EA is selling shortcut kits for money. Yes, they allow you to level up instantly for money, but they released it after a while, after the game dropped. So regular mortals like us had a chance to level up before being pasted by those who spent actual money on the shortcut kits. I mean, this is fantastically bad if this is where the top EA execs see their future. With games like Titanfall 3 coming, it makes it almost cringeworthy, because I'm afraid of what will happen. Because now it was recently announced that EA has bought Respawn, and I've also read somewhere that EA is insisting that all their games run on the Frostbite, the newer Frostbite engines. What is it, Frostbite 3.0, I guess. But the point is not that, but the point is that because Respawn was swallowed up by EA, they will now, hold Respawn by the gonads, and I'm just afraid of what will happen to Titanfall, because it was a really cool game, it was really cool, and if they turn around and do the same shit that they did here, it'll spell the death of the franchise, and it's too bad, because a lot of people obviously liked it. And before I sign off this anti-EA rant, I just want to make a quick clarification to my previous video. I made a mistake saying that EA took down the refund pre-order button from their site. EA actually never had the button for pre-orders, so blaming this particular thing on them is wrong. Everything else, no problem. I'd blame the Holocaust on them if I could. And it actually got it got slightly worse today. I wasn't sure how much of a this is turning into the Trump presidency. Honestly, it's each day is just worse and worse for EA. So today on our videos, a post has basically knocked me on my ass. Uh, Boogie 2988 was playing Star Wars Battlefront 2, and uh, we all watch his channel. He has some honest opinions on things and plays some games and whatnot. He basically, um, in this small excerpt, he showed that playing the arcade mode to get credits basically has a cooldown on earning said credits. So at the end of the round, it said basically wait for the next credits to generate. You could get them in 3 hours. And this, I think, is far beyond infuriating or disgusting, and in no way is this any kind of acceptable behavior for a AAA title. Maybe for a mobile game, which obviously EA is big into right now because they are a good stream of revenue for them. But crossing that over into the PC platform is just gonna outrage, as it rightly did, the entire gaming community. By the way, I forgot to mention it, but since the EA outrage began, mainly over the cost of the unlocking of the extra heroes, right, like Darth Vader and Leia and Luke Skywalker, EA decreased the hero prices in game by 75%. But there's always a but. Here's the thing. They also decreased the number of credits you can earn by completing the campaign, and I'm not sure if other things, other missions also have decreased credits now. But so now you basically have even less of a chance at buying a loot crate or a hero or whatever. And again, the Hotter Potato on Reddit has done a tremendous job of researching and plotting the data out for star cards. I won't bore you with the spreadsheets here, but well, you can look at them yourselves. But basically, he outlined that it's a full-time job grinding for these credits and crafting parts, and because DICE removed the epic star cards from the loot boxes, the only way to upgrade a rare card to an epic one now is to use crafting parts. And holy shit, this situation just seems to be getting worse and worse. Like, look, I like the game. I like how it looks and feels outside, a couple of small balancing issues. I like the beta. I had fun in it, and I even was on board to buy it. Honestly, I'm a Star Wars fanboy, but this has just ruined so much of that goodwill, and I'm just hoping Disney will maybe even pressure EA into changing their system somewhat, because they own Star Wars after all. And many people online, rightly so, are basically saying that they're sponsoring gambling, for kids, because this is what basically the loot box system is. You buy a loot box and you hope to get something good, and you don't. So that's it. So thanks for watching. Please rate and share this video as it helps my channel grow. And remember, in Soviet Russia, YouTube subscribes you.